Shoot, how we doing out there? This bright and early crack of dawn moment. I keep, I keep on saying that, but it's so true. You know, there's only a choice few knuckleheads that's got to get up before the sun comes up. And as always, it just happens to be me. Good morning, Mike. Good morning. How you doing? Just starting the day instead of freaking out and just taking my time. I'm gonna make me a cup of coffee before we depart on our morning adventures, which that usually takes a few minutes. I'm got my strainer out the window, washing it off, trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Not, I mean, what am I doing? I'm sorry, but this is the life. This is the life that I live. I'm trying to figure out if I chose it or if it was thrown in my lap. Because a lot of times, you know, yeah, it's a career. I mean, it's become being a truck driver has actually become my savior, and it kind of saved me from a whole lot of things. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is some of the stuff that's happened either out here to me, stuff I've seen, and places I've been. And this is actually kind of a prime example. I'm at a rest stop in the North Carolina, I believe, North Carolina mountains. I'm cutting across into Tennessee, but this is one of the things that they don't. I mean, it ain't bad, but it's one of the things they don't tell you about when you become a truck driver. That every night you're gonna be you're gonna be sleeping somewhere different, and some of the places might be cool. Some of the places might be scary as all get out. Some of the places might be exciting and wow, I never knew, blah, 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 Um, an example, when I first started out here, I was in training. I didn't realize that we actually parked in, um, I believe it was the consignees where you pick up, and we was in the shipper's parking lot. We were actually sitting in Compton. We was in a parking lot in Compton, California, and you know, ignorant little old me, you know, I'm sleeping on the top bunk. It's already small as heck. I'm sleeping on the top bunk, and I just happen to hear, you know, I happen to hear gunshots, pat, 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 you know, and I'm going, what the heck? Then I realized where I was, that before Straight Out of Compton. I think the movie The Boys in the Hood came out. I'm sitting out. I'm in Compton, and you know how when we're little kids and we you think that that cover that you put over your head is going to protect you from all harm and danger. Like it was bulletproof. You know, I'm I was terrified. Now that that was one of the places that I spent the night at. Um, Another place, I didn't realize it because when you're driving trucks, You have a certain amount of hours that you can drive. Okay. Now, after those certain amount of hours, you have to start looking for a place to park. Well, I believe I was in believe I was in the state of Arizona, heading north on a back road. No back roads is like U.S. highways for us drivers. And I'm driving and driving. I was like, man, I can't. There's no truck stops. There's no rest areas, and I'm spazzing out now. All the years I got driving, I just turn the volume down and drive till I find, till I find a spot. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just drive till I find a spot. And if I violate, I violate. Hey, because when you get all nervous, you start making mistakes. But good morning, welcome in. And what I was saying is, I finally stopped at this. It was like a gravel pull off, where you could just pull off to the side of the road. And I was literally like, because I knew I was in Arizona, I knew I was back up in the woods, and I knew for a fact that, hey, hold up, there might be, because I was in the mountainous area. There might be mountain lions or coyotes or bears or something. And I remember, well, I don't want to get this stuff in the back stolen, you know. And I remember I was scared to death. And I grabbed my keys, and I went back and locked the back of the trailer. We had, this like a special lock that you put on there. And I was like, man, what if I wake up and you know, what if I wake up and someone tries to get me while I'm in here? I'm thinking all these crazy things, and I woke up to seeing this. Y'all hold on, let me I'm gonna send you what I did. I actually I took a picture of the front of the truck, so when they looked for me, they knew, what the heck where I was. Okay. Okay, that's a little short, but it turns out that where I spent the night, I was on the north rim of the Grand Canyon. And I literally I walked over to the other side of the street. I was like, what the? I said, oh man. I mean, it probably like an offshoot of the Grand Canyon, but I mean, like a small piece of it. But I had parked on the north rim of the freaking Grand Canyon, because I mean, I had to go all these twisty roads. When I woke up, I barely slept. All these twisty roads when I woke up, and I came out and I passed by the gate. It said the north rim of the freaking Grand Canyon. You see what I'm saying? It's funny that we live our lives, and we don't even come across things such as that. You know that that part of that was so freaking. I mean, I've always kept that picture. I've always kept those pictures in every phone that I had, to say that, hey, at least I seen a part of the freaking Grand Canyon. I remember one night I think I was getting potatoes somewhere in in Colorado, somewhere in Colorado, and I had to go up and down these mountain roads and all this other stuff. And I remember, yeah, I remember. I actually, I once again, I had to pull over to the side of the road. But I don't know if you've ever been in the dark, in the dark that's so dark, and the only thing that's showing you anything is the moonlight. It's like something out of a werewolf movie. I, I spent I spent the night one night on the on a mountain pass on the side of the road, and I mean you couldn't see nothing. And I remember I had a only thing I had in me was a French knife, thinking like I'm gonna defend myself. You know, um, I spent one night I spent on it's on you guys don't know, but it's called Donner's Pass, and where that is going heading into California on the heading into Northern California. I spent the night at the top of the northern path of Adonis Path. That was actually at a rest stop. That one was I. That's why I looked and seen that my Caucasian friends, y'all are freaking crazy. Exactly, bro. It was so dark. I was like, man, I'm not checking the back of my truck. I'm not getting out of this daggone truck. I locked the door, and I'm like, well, if someone come in here, I'm gonna get him like this or whatever. I think I would have probably drove off if I'd have heard a wolf howl or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Hold on one second. Now, let's see. Where else have I spent? Um, Now I don't usually do and this is when I first started. This is when I first started out here about 9 years ago. No, it was about 9 years ago. I really usually don't do the overpasses. Getting off when you get off the ramp and you see those trucks parked on the ramp. I did it one time because I just couldn't find nothing, and that was in New York. And I had my curtains closed, and I just was so I couldn't sleep that night. I was so scared that the cop was gonna come wake me up and blah blah. You know, that one was that was a normal one. Um, I spent you usually don't realize this, but in the West they have a lot of casinos. On I-40, and they have them on back roads. I mean, literally back roads in Oklahoma. You know, I've spent nights in the casino parking lot. I learned now when if I stop at a casino, I don't get out and go into the casino. That's the only reason why they allow us to come there. So they're gonna get our money. I leave the casinos alone. There's a few times. Oh, if I do this, I'm gonna get this. If I bet this much more, I'm gonna get this. And after I lose $100, I gotta keep playing till I make my money back. There's a few times I did that. Is one or two times where I walked in there. The third, the third, the third push on that button. I won $100. I got my ass behind up, got back in that truck, and went to sleep. I've done those. Um, where else? Uh, I've I've slept in dirt parking lots. Not I don't even think they were parking lots with big old craters in them. Um, I've slept in abandoned gas stations. You know, um, they those were an experience in itself. You know, I've what else? Because I'm thinking back here. I've slept in abandoned gas stations. Um, I've slept. I've stopped. They're kind of hard to find spots in Vegas. Now the company that I work for actually has a terminal in Vegas where I've spent the night in Vegas where I took a cab. That was before, as you can see how low this is. That was before the you know Uber. I took a cab to the strip and walked up and down the strip. Um, yeah, was it Vegas? I've had this. I had to park. I remember when I first got I think it was one of the first times that I got on the road after my training, everything with a a fellow trainee, the blind leading the blind. But it was the first time we got on the road, and I drove into a snowstorm, and we had to park. And I mean, it just continued to snow, and neither one of us knew how to put on chains. So what we had to do, we had to rock the when we both. It was a vote. Okay, are we ready to go? The next day, what we did was we got the truck to rock back and forth, and and the truck to rock back and forth. Let me see what you say. Yeah, okay. Um, yeah, Oklahoma. I just read what you said there, and the man above. Oklahoma's got a lot of them on them back roads. You know, um, and the Indian casinos, man, that's the slow death. You put you put you put 60 cents in, you win 5 cents. So you think you actually won something. That's how they get you there. Um, but back to what I was saying, we didn't know how to put the chains on the tires, so we were rocking the truck back and forth, and the road. I laid the chain out so the wheels could grind on it. So we rolled over the chain and got the truck to moving. And while the truck was moving, one guy jumped out the truck to go grab the chain, jumped back in the truck, and we started moving again. I can tell you, they tell you that was some silly stuff. Yeah, good morning, welcome in, and after that, uh, I started, after a while, I started to say, okay, okay, you, when you gonna start, I had to, come to the conclusion because nobody tells you what to do and how to do it out here. It's learned by trial and error. So I learned, and then I started learning, and I bought what's called it's called a, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. I bought. It's called. I got it. I got the first one on I-80 in Iowa. They have a really big truck stop up there. It's in Iowa 80, and it's called the Ultimate Truck Parking Guide. And every year after that, I started buying this. I could find I could find places to park for Pete's sake, you know. And I got into the habit of when when it's time to end the day or park or whatever, however you want to say it. I have a certain time limit. If I'm trying to push it an hour, if I can't find it, I just keep on going until I can find one. Or uh, you know, or I stop at my normal spots because now I do. Now I do a dedicated run nowadays, and I know the normal places where I can park and find stuff and so forth and so on. That makes it a little bit much more easier out here. Um, there's some crazy things that I've watched happen while I've been out here. Also, one of them I remember. Excuse me. I remember. Um, I was coming down. I believe that was I-75, I-75 in Tennessee, and that truck stop is actually gone now. What happened was the pilot bought up the brand new truck stop across the street and made where I'm the story I'm telling you about, and made where I was sitting. I was just doing my 30-minute break where I was sitting, and made that whole into just one big parking lot for the trucks, which a lot of us are eternally grateful. But now I just happen, like you just sit there, you're sitting in the driver's seat, you just happen to be staring around and looking around. Well, there was a big camper. There was a big, one of those bus, like, you know, it looks like, a touring bus. And and on the other side of it, it looked like it was empty. It was like nobody there. Okay. Now, there's a guy come walking out between on the one side of the touring bus, and he looks around, and clueless Joe, that's me. I'm looking dead at him, and something said, "Look down, stupid." The guy had a T-shirt on, and I looked down, and that's all he had on. Yes, fam. Dude was he was butt behind naked. He looked around and then walked back between the two trucks. And I was like, what the heck? And I said, you know what? I need to tell somebody now. I walked into the truck stop, and I said, can I speak to the manager? He said, yeah. I said, hey, bro, I ain't trying to tell you what to do or whatever, but hey, man, you got a guy outside walking around butt behind naked in between the trucks. You might want to go check over that. So the dude comes out, and the woman comes out. Another a male manager and a female manager comes out, and as soon as they get over there, you see a little, you know, broke behind car take off like a bat out of heck. And I'm sitting there cracking up. I said, "Oh my god!" I said, "I thought I seen everything." So, you know, a little while later, see a guy get out of that bus, the touring bus, whatever, with the trailer. And I walk over to him and say, "Hey, man, did you see that dude earlier?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "You know why he took off, right?" I said, "No." He says, "I just happened to be laying in my bed in the back, and I looked up, and because he could see all the way toward the front, and there was a hill in front of my windshield. He was standing there playing with himself." And he said, "I grabbed my 44 Magnum, and I started coming towards the front. I started coming towards the front." He said he was about to light him up. And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, man, I'm not having that." And that's where the guy jumped in the car and took off. Now, um, the other thing, another thing that's happened to me while I was out here is, y'all know them well. They're called lot lizards. One time I think we was in somewhere in the west, and I was waiting for my co-driver to come back out, and this heavy set sister came up to me, missing the front teeth. I mean, she was looking a little scary, and propositioned me, and I said, "No." I was like, "No, thank you. I'm good. I got a train. I got a fellow co-driver. We can't be doing that stuff." And she turned around and walked away. Well, this lady must have had some kind of medical treatment, and there was a tube coming out of her back, a freaking tube coming out of her back, guys. And whatever was below me shriveled up way past my behind when I seen that. I was like, "Oh my Lord, oh my God." I mean, I was like, "Oh my goodness." One other time, I literally made it with minutes left. Minute, with minutes left on my clock, I was somewhere off of I-5 in California, and I pulled into, we call them mom and pops. Yeah, why? They're not mom and pops, but they're privately owned. They're not the big conglomerate truck stops. And as soon as I pulled in, this car, I mean, like they were chasing me, like j- pulls in front of me. Pulls in front of me. This big boob woman gets out, grabs her breast, and waves to me, talk, like, "Do you want some?" And I'm like, "Oh," I'm waving my hands and going, "Nope, no, thank you." I mean, just blatant. And I looked over at the other guy in the other truck, and the guy said, "You know what?" I remember he said that, I laughed so bad. He said, "You know what? I'm out of hours, but I ain't staying here." And he got in that truck. I mean, he turned his truck on and he took off. He said, "I see." He said, "I'm out of hours, but I ain't staying here." I said, "Oh man." And now, one time, and this goes back about 9 years when I first started. I'm in, I believe it was Kansas City, Um, I believe if I remember, it was Kansas City. I'll never forget this one. We parked. We parked for the night, and I'm sitting in the front seat, and I see this woman, and I see, and later on, I remember seeing other women walking through a hole in the gate, and this one woman, she was going from truck to truck, and I was like, "Dang, that's a that's a real nice lady, ain't she?" And it didn't dawn on me what the heck was going on. I said, "Man, dang, that's a real nice lady." And there's something smacked me in the head, back of the head. Hey, stupid! Don't you know what's going on? I said, oh, God. I said, oh shoot, yeah, oh man. And that's when I started the reality of what kind of what kind of goes on out here now. Also, another thing I learned out here is having a kind heart will get you broke being out here. Um, when I first started, I don't have money now, but I really didn't have no money then. When I first started, people come knocking on the door. Excuse me, my child my child has apalapalaka disease, and she's only got 6 months 6 months to live. Can you help us out? Oh my God, apalapalaka disease. And I just come out my pocket. I was coming out my pocket left and right at every freaking truck stop. Then wondering why. Wait a minute, I'm hungry. I don't got no money for food. I'm sitting here going broke because so and so got apollopolis disease. I was getting taken left and right. Um, I remember one time. See, and this is literally why I don't I don't carry money. And the reason why I don't carry money is so I'm really not lying. I'm really not lying when I tell you I ain't got a dime because I don't have a dime on me. And this one guy, I mean, man, he should have got an Academy Award. He should have got an Academy Award because my man, excuse me, and he was older than me. Me and my wife broke down the road. Me and the missus broke down the road, and we just need a few dollars for gas, you know, to get to our destination. Well, you know, poor me, I'm like, well, I'm sorry. Even my heartstrings are tearing in, but I'm like, I got to stay the path. I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry, um, but I don't have no money. And then when I said I don't have no money, he was like, "Oh God!" And he put both hands on his knees like he's about to fall out. And I just walked away, And I walked in, and I walked into the truck stop, and the lady was like, "Hey, so and so." He back, and they in there cussing. They in there cussing like I'm like two sailors. He back. Yeah, that sorry ass mother effer is back. And they was like, yeah, he gets one of these poor truckers to give him some money, and then guess what he do with it? He said they said he come in here, he buy him a pack of cigarettes and a 6-pack of beer and go about his business. And I said, ain't this a yeah? And I was like, he almost got me. I said, man, I couldn't believe it. I said, he almost got me. And and this again, guys, this is what goes on out here. Then you see the same person. Say if I'm heading to California, drop a load off. You see the same person in the broke down car, say car broke, help for gas or whatever, need gas, same spot. You see that same person sitting in that same spot on the way back from California, doing the same thing. And they get the new ones, the new drivers like my dumb behind, you know, to give them to give them that money. You know what I mean? Hey, hold on. Let me do this. Let me do this. Cause hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hey, hey, the man above. If you want to drop your link, brother, just hashtag can't stop. Cause you new to this group, listening on our morning bull crap. If you want to drop your, so people could check you out, just hit hashtag can't stop, so I can look you up. I can look you up when I'm done. But they they know, especially they know the new ones. We're suckers, and we're easily played being out here. You know what I mean? Um, especially and it's sad to see. You can see the New Mexico. I think it was New Mexico, somewhere around there. Don't quote me on that because Charles will let me know if I got the wrong spot. There's a Walmart where it's backed up to a closed down truck truck stop. The truck stop's been closed down for years, but you can park in that truck stop and walk through the fence to the Walmart, go shopping, get get back in your truck and keep it moving. Well, a lot of times, a lot of American Indians, because you can see it in their face, they ain't Mexican, they're Indian. A lot of them, they hang out right around there to convince, try to get money from you, and not for any nefarious reason. They just want to get drunk. The- My wife be saying I drink too much. Boy, you drink too much when you sitting in the driver's seat of an 18 wheeler. You can smell the alcohol, and I got a bad sense of smell. You can smell the alcohol of somebody coming up to your truck. He reek it when he reeks that bad. You know what I mean? When he reeks that bad of alcohol. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure, bro, because we want to check you out. I'll make sure that I'm sub back. But the dude, this one dude, and I've gotten cold over the years, and sometimes I'll give to these people out here if you don't ask me. And you looking bad, I'll reach into my pocket or go get some money and give to you. Um, so y'all don't think that I'm just straight up evil. You know what I mean? I remember I walked by a homeless guy because there's a place in Knoxville, Tennessee, where there's a pilot truck stop where you can park, and then you cross the street, you walk through. There's actually a walk. It's like a 2 mile walking path, and then a mile in, you can make a left and walk up to the Walmart. Hold on. Well, what I do is what I did one day is I walked by a guy, and the guy had, he was sleeping by a tree. You could tell he was homeless, and he didn't have nothing. He didn't ask nothing to me. He didn't even look my way. But my spirit's like, go ahead and help my man out. And I had my cart anyway. I'm not like these other drivers. What I do is I have a cart, uh, uh, an expandable cart that I take and I pull it, and I actually go walk up to the Walmarts or whatever. So, I don't get in no trouble or nothing like that. So I walked up to the Walmart. I said, well, let me get this guy some stuff. I got him a gallon of water, a chicken. He had a dog with him. I got him some dog food, and the cans that you open without a can opener. And I don't know if I got him anything else. And then I walked back when I got my other stuff. I walked back past him. I said, "Hey man, I got you. I picked you up some stuff." And he looked at me and he was bewildered. And and I was he looked bewildered, and but it felt good because you could tell he wasn't trying to take me for nothing, but he really was in need. And he was like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Yeah, no problem, man. See, there are good people out there. We just don't want to be taken. You just think everybody's a fool. You know what I mean? And that part of it tugged on my heartstrings to help my man out and give them something. Like I said, I don't mind, but I just can't see you you out here begging for money. I'm homeless and I'm whatever, and but you pull out a cell phone. You feel me on that? You pull out a cell phone and you taking a break. I watched one guy. Yeah, it was like his shift was done begging. Then a car pulled up. He jumped in the car and took off. I'm like, what? What the heck? I'm like, it just blew me away. But see, that's what's out here. It's been an experience. Uh, you know, it's been an experience. Um, I remember one of the things I knew why my wife was gonna be. I knew she was gonna be my wife because she was actually the only one that actually came out here with me on the road over the road. Even though she was excited at first, but the middle of the night when she had to wake me up. We both had to get dressed so I could walk her across the dark parking lot to go to the bathroom and come back. I remember I got my feelings hurt, but I understood later on, years later. She's like, I can't wait to get the hell out of this damn truck, But it was funny because that's what I understood what she meant because you had to wake up in the middle of the night. Normally, you get out your bed, you go to the bathroom, you go back to bed. But in an 18 wheeler, you had to get up to do the right thing. Especially for women, you got to get up, walk across the parking lot, go into the truck stop, and hopefully none of the stalls are taken. Go to the bathroom, wash your hands, come back out, and get back in the truck. Years later, When we got married, she bought me. I got you something. I looked and said, what is it? She said, it's a portable toilet. And I was like, I ain't never using that dang thing. It's a portable toilet. And when COVID hit, because I wasn't, I wasn't coming out this truck unless I had to, you know. Oh, congratulations, brother. Uh, 23 years married. Cool, cool. And I wasn't using that toilet, but when COVID hit, I had to bring it out here with me, and it's been in this truck ever since. You know. Oh, you know what? That that's a that's something we can talk about right now. All right. The only problem with this type of portable toilet, it has a lever that opens and closes the top part of it, that it goes down into the receptacle area. I'm gonna say it like that. Be polite. Um, if it isn't open all the way, when you do a number one, it leaks out. Because it goes through that and through the hole and leaks out. And Charles will tell you, because he had bought one, you have to have this thing sitting in a plastic bin for any type of any type of leakage, or let me say that, any type of leakage. Um, and you have to use a certain type, which I have to get because I got the wrong one. I got the orange, packets that you throw in there. Um, there's a certain type that breaks down the stuff that needs to be broken down. I'm trying to be polite, you know, trying to be PG. The orange one doesn't do a good job with it. Now, in certain areas, in especially like in Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi, the rest areas have places where you can empty this out. But sometimes you have areas where you need to get rid of stuff and you got no place. So a lot of times in the middle of the night with the blue stuff, it's everything is just it's just blue. And then you know what I mean? But sometimes you got to get rid of something where you got no place to get rid of it at, and you got to do what you got to do. I'm not admitting to anything. I'm just letting y'all know this is what's going on having one of these. I'm, I'm being polite there. Cruising is fun every time. It's like those the bathrooms on the cruise ships. They got that whoosh. Did you ever notice that the sound on the I think y'all are going on the new ship. They're going on a new ship. Just listen and see if you hear it. The sound of the toilets was very loud on the carnival celebration. Even when you were on certain decks, like in the public areas, the restaurants and stuff like that, you pass by the bathrooms, you could hear them. Whoosh, whoosh. I was like, am I the only one hearing this? Oh, when y'all go on the Jubilee, just let me know if you hear those toilets, because it had me cracking up. I'm like, and I'm thinking about toilets right now. Sorry. But the one of the things everybody thinks that actually, truck drivers are that we're stupid and all we have to do is nothing to it and driving. But the the part of this parking and stuff, it's like, to get that 72-foot vehicle into a certain spot when you're parking, it's a matter of one, physics, and uh like, mechanical engineering. Well, like, when you drive for a certain amount of years, you can actually learn. You actually, in your brain, you're looking for a certain angle, like trigonometry or whatever. There's a certain angle that you could get, and it's trial and error. A certain angle that you can get to get that vehicle into that spot and turn that wheel at a certain spot in a certain speed that you won't bash into the guy behind you, two, won't go over the curve. And there's certain things that, we wonder. It's like, I don't need this after high school. What do I need about trigonometry and physics and stuff like that? And it's actually being used when you're driving a daggone 18 wheeler. Isn't that the craziest thing you ever seen? You know? Let me see. What did you just say? Yeah, I I don't remember because we just got off the Mardi Gras. I don't remember if I heard a lot on the Mardi Gras, but them new boats, I bet you going when you go on the Jubilee, you're gonna hear it. Just let me know if you hear it on the Mardi Gras. Yeah, because I could hear my neighbors flushing next door to us because I'd hit the button, whoosh, and I'm like, okay, but that's kind of loud. I hope nobody hears it. Then I'm walking in the cabin, I hear whoosh, whoosh. I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't me. But you got to remember, on these cruise ships, the the cabins they're modular. They actually are fitted in there. So there isn't that much insulation. There's probably not. There's probably no insulation. That's probably why you can hear things like that. When they build these cabins, they're modular. They're built off site and they're actually put into the boat. You know, that's that. Hey, see, that's why we have. That's why we talk about certain things. Yeah, that's why we talk about certain things on this live. I don't know why am I talking about that, but oh, it feels good because the um the last the last week or so I've been talking about relationships and I've been getting intense and being a highly sensitive man. You know, a lot of times when y'all hear me get loud and I'm yelling and screaming and cussing and all this stuff, it's because I'm reminded of what I went through. And a lot of that stuff that I talk about, I already been through. I'm not going through it right now. I was happy, I'm happy. And I was telling Charles, I said, man, I gotta find something. I gotta find something different to talk about. You know what I mean? Because you talk about being done wrong all day long, and dang, it's like Debbie Downer for Pete's sake. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to talk about some crazy stuff today. Like right now, that's why I'm not driving. I'm just about to start my on duty. As soon as I get off here with you guys, I I am going to start. I just started my clock. And I'll be leaving in a minute. Um, See, as you can see, I'm like at the edge. I had to snuggle into this spot, guys. you know, but I was down to. I think I had like 45 minutes. I think I had like 45 minutes on my clock, and I found this spot. I was like, whoo, I was like, whoo, Lord. It's because I got in here and I'm good. But hey, just also, hey guys, the man above, you can check out Cruising is Fun anytime. They talk about cruising, and he said you've been married 23 years. T- Talk to her husband. He books cruises for folks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, help him out. And your wife, once you start cruising, boy, you won't regret it. I was actually looking at the cruising video before I got online, before I got online to do this live this morning. I like to watch Gary. Was it? I think his name is Gary Bainbridge or something like that, and he gets real technical, which is it's an experience. And he just reminded me, I got to make a payment. I got to make a payment on my July cruise of next year. I got to at least put something on there so I don't feel too bad. What I'm probably gonna do is pay down my Convo credit card, and then once I pay it down, I'm gonna put that cruise on there. Can you say stupid? Yeah, yep, that's me. But it's I, you know, it's part of life, and part of having that part of it, and getting out there and having that fun. You know, let me turn the stuff on. All right, but hey guys, we done. All right, cruising is fun. Look. I done, I done got you. I done got you someone who's interested, and the man above. I'm telling you, they about the nicest people. They about the nicest. It's a husband and wife team. They about the nicest daggone people. You know. Um, and they'll hook you up. And this cruising thing, man. This cruising thing is an experience. But we done came to the we done came to that part in our morning lives where we about to say peace out, my fellow YouTubers. I just want to say thank you guys for coming in. Um, y'all made it fun. I had a good laugh instead of me yelling and screaming and cussing. Okay, great. I'll tell. I don't know if she's still in here. I will tell her because she does a. They do a live 8 o'clock Central. They do a live 8 o'clock Central. I'll tell her to send you a message or have her husband send you a message because they have two YouTube channels. I can't remember the other one. I'll tell her to send you a message, and they'll send you some information or something, or you can like conversate back and forth. Okay. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for hearing us out. You came in on a good one. Usually I'd be yelling and screaming and cussing. I was informed I cuss too much, but it's early morning. We're not children. Um, Just want to thank y'all for coming in, and just so you know. Oh, okay. Yeah, my man said he's interested, and he just cruises fun anytime. He said he just subscribed to you, so y'all do y'all thing. um, but again, always remember, if you don't think nobody loves you, just know that God loves you, and I love you too. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming in, and thanks for making my morning fun and happy. Now I got to get to work. God bless. Y'all take care and see you tomorrow.